In the cold depths of the galaxy's outer rim, where dying stars cast shadows over forgotten worlds, an ancient distress beacon blinked for the first time in a century. It came from a planet long thought extinct, Velantry, once the jewel of the Exirellan Union, now a graveyard. The signal was simple, a single word repeated in Old Galactic Standard: help. Within hours, it reached every major relay. Within days, it was dismissed by most as a ghost transmission. But on Earth, it was answered. The Terran Diplomatic Command rerouted the signal to one specific recipient, Commander Elena Voss, veteran of the Third Contact War and carrier of a forgotten promise. 70 years earlier, a human medical ship had crash-landed on Velantry during a time of war. The Exirellans, against all political pressure, had offered shelter and protection to the Terran crew. They saved 37 human lives. Before the Terrans departed, a promise was made. One day, if you ever call for help, we'll answer. No matter how long it takes. The Valentrans had laughed at the sentiment, thinking it poetic but hollow. Just words. They didn't understand what a debt meant to humans. Now, in the present, the TSS Resolute, a sleek Terran dreadnought bristling with weaponry and cloaked in armor blackened by re-entry burns, entered the Velantry system. Commander Voss stood on the bridge. Her crew watched as the shattered planet came into view, cities in ruins, atmosphere scarred, signs of orbital bombardment. Scan for survivors, she ordered. A faint cluster of life signs pinged near the equator, less than 1,000, hiding in the ruins, shielded by ancient Exirellan tech. Someone hit them hard, her XO muttered. Voss didn't blink. Then we hit back harder. Word spread quickly. The Galactic Council, ever diplomatic, issued a formal statement. Humanitarian aid is encouraged, but military intervention is discouraged without full investigation. The humans ignored it. Because humans remembered. Within 36 hours, a Terran fleet of 12 warships arrived, dreadnoughts, medical cruisers, planetary dropships. The Exarn Dominion, responsible for Velantry's destruction, laughed when they heard. Humans? For a backwater corpse world? Let them come. They expected resistance. What they got was vengeance. The Battle of Velantry lasted exactly 4 hours. The Terran fleet didn't follow traditional protocols. They didn't broadcast terms. They didn't negotiate. They descended like wrathful gods. Precision orbital strikes took out Zarn cruisers before they could scramble. Terran drop pods punched through planetary shields like bullets through paper. Entire squadrons of Exarn warriors were wiped out by autonomous drones before they even saw a human. By the time the Exarn command structure realized what was happening, their orbital command center was vaporized by a kinetic rod drop, a weapon so rarely used due to its brutality that even warlike species hesitated. The survivors of Velantry, starving and dying in their ancient shelters, looked up to see Terran medics descending from the smoke-filled sky. Commander Voss entered the ruins on foot. She knelt beside an elderly Exirellan woman who clutched an old human medallion, one that had been gifted decades ago. "You came," the woman whispered. Voss nodded. "We owed you." Elsewhere in the galaxy, empires took notice. The Kalthari Technate issued a rare internal memo. Human loyalty is no longer just emotional. It is strategic and terrifying. The Fexari Pact, longtime rivals of Earth, held emergency meetings. One Fexari admiral reportedly asked if this is how they repay a debt. What will they do to an enemy? The Galactic Council didn't reprimand Earth. They didn't dare. 3 weeks later, a monument was erected on Velantry, built from polished Terran alloy and native crystal. The inscription read, "To those who showed mercy in war, humanity remembers and repays in kind." Beneath the monument, small letters glowed in Terran script. Mess with one of ours again, and we won't come to repay a debt. We'll come to collect. Epilogue. Back in Sol space, Earth went quiet. But the galaxy was not the same. No longer were humans considered impulsive or reckless. No longer were they dismissed as youngbloods of the stars. There was something far more dangerous. They were loyal. And loyalty, it seemed, was the one thing the galaxy feared most.